What's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk to you about the importance of self-talk and your inner dialogue. So everybody is talking to themselves in their head all the time. Now, we may not want to admit it, but it's the truth, right? And there's always these voices in our head. And I say voices plural, not trying to sound crazy, but there's always going to be some positive voices and some negative voices. So I like to try to, categorize them into two. And there are different levels of negativity and different levels of positivity. Now, your inner dialogue, most of the time, we're just not aware of it. It just kind of happens. It's there and it's rolling. And our inner dialogue is composed of asking ourselves questions and then answering them. So example, what do I want to eat for lunch? Becomes, I'm going to list out a bunch of things I can have. Some positive answers might be, some vegetables, some lean protein, some healthy fat. Other examples might be, 2 Big Macs, 3 pizzas, and an ice cream. Negative answer. Now, that's pretty straightforward because we're going to take action on something, but we do ask other questions that sometimes we're just not aware of, such as, man, why did I do that? And then sometimes your answer might be, man, because I'm an idiot. So you have these two parts to the dialogue that are going back and forth. Now, what happens is when you ask yourself a question, your brain will go and find the answer. And if it doesn't have an answer, it will create an answer. And after it creates the answer, it will go and try and find proof to prove itself right. Because we all love being right? So if I ask myself, why the hell did I do that? Why did I drop that dish? My brain might come up with an answer like, well, it's because you're not paying attention, because you're an idiot. And then you're going to say, the next question comes up on the other side, well, am I an idiot? And I say, yes, of course you are, because you did this. And it's going to list a bunch of examples where maybe I didn't feel, super smart at certain times in my life because I may have made a dumb mistake. Now, if this also applies to, why didn't I get that workout in? Well, it's because you're lazy. And then you might ask yourself, am I lazy? And your brain's going to go, let me find all the times you were lazy to prove you were right. And that becomes your identity. That becomes who you are. You become what you're telling yourself. And it becomes such a pattern that we're just not aware of it. And we hold on to these characteristics, these things like they're crutches, Oh, I'm OCD, I'm lazy, I just don't have energy, I'm too emotional, I'm an angry person, so what you do is you want to make that true. So anytime a circumstance comes up, you're going to go and take action, and you're going to think about all the ways that I can make this true. So if you tell yourself, oh, I can't do something, well, why can't I do it? Because I'm lazy. Well, I'm going to list all those things off, and then I'm going to give myself more proof by not taking action now, so that later on, that laziness characteristic that I gave myself will be even more true, because now I'm just adding to that list. So the first step to changing is actually becoming aware of what that inner dialogue is. 1, what questions are we asking ourselves? And 2, what answers are we giving ourselves? So not only do you have to, ask a good question, but you have to become aware of what's the first answer that pops up in your brain. What's the first answer that you're kind of accepting? And instead of finding examples of, am I lazy? And then you find the examples, ask yourself instead, is that really true? Try to find counter arguments to that negative answer. So we can change our inner dialogue both ways. And it does require a lot of work, because the average person apparently thinks approximately 2,000 thoughts per hour. Now, that's an insane amount, if not more. I've seen 2,000, I've seen 3,000, but if you can kind of just picture your inner dialogue for just a minute of the day, that's a lot. And we tend to bounce around. So we're going to ask ourselves a question. We're going to give ourselves an answer. we have to start creating better questions, more empowering questions. So example, if somebody is trying to embark on, let's say like a health fitness journey, and that you're trying to, exercise more during your week, instead of saying, well, how come I failed last time? Let's ask ourselves, well, what can I do moving forward to ensure success? Or what can I do to make sure I get my next workout in? What we could also do is try to find ways to make ourselves empowering and actually enjoy the whole process. So what can I do, for my next workout to make sure I do it and actually enjoy it? So now your brain will start thinking of ways, positive answers to answer that positive question. What we can also discuss is when you say, well, why did this happen? Like, why did I drop that dish? Or how, I'm so forgetful. How is it that why did I not remember to take the trash out? And you can say, well, I'm forgetful, I'm dumb, you could just say, well, I was just preoccupied with something else. Or you could say, I wasn't focused. Or to make it more empowering, you can actually tell yourself, well, now I'm aware of the fact that I wasn't focused in the past, and I am now going to be more focused moving forward. I'm going to be more present so that you become less, forgetful, if you will. Or what solution can I take to ensure this doesn't happen again? Maybe writing yourself a little note, a little reminder. There are ways that we can improve our self-talk. So one, start just trying to keep track of what questions you ask yourself. And if you start becoming aware of them more often, then we're able to change them. And if you see that these questions are, geared in a negative way, why am I so stupid? Well, you're insinuating that you're stupid. Or why am I so lazy? You're insinuating you're lazy. So that becomes an opportunity to change the question as opposed to changing the answer, right? Because if you're asking, why are you lazy? You're going to find answers why you're lazy. And it's hard to give yourself positive answers in that way. So there's an opportunity to change the question and say, well, instead of why am I so lazy, what can I do now? Because now you caught yourself. You're saying you're lazy. Well, what can I do now to, become more active, to take action faster, I don't want to say not be lazy, but be energetic. What can I do to be more energetic? And then we'll find ways to change the answer. And if the question is more open-ended, like, why did I not get that workout in? That becomes an opportunity to have a positive or a negative answer. Well, now if your answer would have in the past been, I didn't get that workout in because, I have no time, because I'm lazy, because I'm fat, because I can't, it's not for me. These are now negative answers. The same question can be shifted. If we keep the question the same, we can now shift our answers to a positive way, where why did I not get that workout in could be, well, I didn't schedule it. So now I'm going to give myself an opportunity to make sure I schedule my workouts. Or we can also change the question too. I'll show you that in a second. But instead of saying, well, why, I didn't get the workout in because I'm lazy, say, well, maybe I needed I needed to prepare myself better. I needed to make sure my running shoes were right there next to my workout gear, and I got to put my gym bag in the car so I go straight after work. You'll start finding solutions to make sure that we don't have that happen again. We could also change the question to, how can I ensure that I no longer miss a workout? Now, I'm doing this in the physical realm, but this becomes also an opportunity to do this with our emotions, with how we interact with people, with any other habits that we want to change, whether that be with our mood, with any other addictions that you may have. So be aware of your self-talk, and let's try and shift that in a positive way so that the more that you feel you can actually do, the better you'll feel about yourself, because now you're going to start feeling more and more confident. So that's our talk for today. Have a great one.